Hey everybody, welcome back to another InfoSec operator tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to be learning about computer networks and how computers talk to each other, especially geared towards hacking. Stay tuned, we'll get right into it. As I said, we're going to be looking at how computers talk to each other and how we can use that for hacking. Obviously, networking is the absolute most important thing in hacking because how do we get to that other machine in the first place, especially when we're halfway across the world, but also when we're on the same network, which is basically what we're going to be focusing on today. So the very first thing each of you should understand is that there are different types of networks, especially keep in mind that there are networks within networks. So here in my notepad, we have local area network. This is most likely what you're using at home. Actually, it is what you're using at home if you have a router and then a couple different devices set up on that network. Now, to understand the local area network, look up star topology, but I'm going to say that most likely you're using a star topology, which is the layout of the network. Okay, that's how the devices are looking on the network. You're most likely using a star topology on your local area network at home. Then you have wide area network. This is better known, or what most people call, the internet. However, there are multiple wide area networks that make up the entire internet and office networks and things like that. Okay, but when I'm talking about hacking across the wire, we're talking about wide area network because we're going from our local area network to the wide area network by using our private IP address, which translates to a public IP address through your router. We'll get more into that in a little bit, but let's continue here. Metropolitan area network is typically a business set of networks. Okay, so let's say that a bank has multiple offices throughout a city. Okay, let's say New York City, right? They have many offices all throughout New York City of the same bank. Then they're going to use a metropolitan area network. This is owned and leased only to that bank and its customers who reach out from the wide area network, okay? But most likely this is corporate, not just internet, but it's for the city network. We're just going to say that. Personal area network is things like your Bluetooth or your hotspot on your iPhone or Android or whatever your phone you're using. All right. Some of these networks, topology is the layout of any given network. This includes all of the above up here. And the topology is literally how the devices look on the network, okay? Like, you could have a line in a star topology going from one computer to the next. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm just going to type in paint, and I'm just going to give you guys a very quick understanding of what I mean here. Alright, so I got a line here. We're going to put this line up, and this is going to be your internet, okay? Then that internet, obviously, well, I want to put a different line up. That internet goes to your house, okay? And then you have your router. So let me get a little square going here, and we're going to understand that's the router, okay? We're just going to call that the router. Then that router provides multiple availability to different devices on your home network, okay? So we'll just go there. Now, if I continued around and did this properly, it would actually look like a star topology. But essentially, what I'm telling each of you is that this right here, from your router to all your devices on that router at your home, would end up turning out to be a star topology because of the way it's reaching out to different devices, okay? Why is this important? Well, then we get into like address resolution protocol, MAC addresses, etc., etc. We're not going to cover all of it in this lesson. I want to keep this a nice, short, sweet introduction to networking, but this is important because when you hack through the internet and into, let's say you manage to hack that router. Now you have access to all the devices, but you want to know where those devices are. You can't just randomly pull up the router information and be like, oh, okay, it's over here, here, here. This is the private IP address, etc., right? You want to know all the addresses, where the information is going, which device has the most important information, because if you're hacking, you're hacking not, well, sometimes just for fun, but you're hacking something like this for a reason, right? You're looking for something important. Well, let's say device number 2 over here has bank information. Well, there you go. Now you have it, right? Instead of searching and sifting through all of this, you're just going to tap into, you're going to overtake that router. You're going to pull up Wireshark. Okay, if you don't have Wireshark, this is Wireshark. You're going to pull up Wireshark, and you want to be able to get that information. So let's say that you do hack that router, and now you want to interact with each individual device on that private network or that local area network. Okay, now let's say this is Wi-Fi, all right, and you're at a bookstore. Okay, we're just going to use a bookstore. You guys hacked into, or you don't even have to hack into, Wi-Fi at most bookstores is open, right? So you don't need a passcode or anything. Let's say you're running Wireshark on this router. How would you know what to look for? Well, first, you're going to open Wireshark. You're going to go into Wireshark, and you're going to go into the network that's working. Sorry, I did that wrong. It's going to give all the acknowledgments, handshakes, all that, start TCP, IP, even ARP, which address resolution protocol. You got UDP, and we're going to get into what all this means later on, but I'm just giving you guys the basic, okay, user datagram protocol, excuse me. And then we're going to see, okay, now let's say that you found a private IP address, okay, not a public. There's a difference, as you guys see here, private versus public. Public is what allows you to access the internet. Private is what is on this local area network, sometimes even on the metropolitan area network, and definitely personal area network, okay? Wide area network is all public IP addresses, but then it goes into local area networks. But let's get back into Wireshark here. Now let's say you just found a random private IP address. I have one right now, and what we're going to do is IP.dst for destination. We're going to see if we can actually interact with said IP address, okay? Once we do, we know that we can you know, see it and see what it's passing through. To test this theory, all you need to do is pull up your command line, so CMD, hit enter. We got my InfoSec operator command prompt here, and we're gonna ping. And now I want each of you to watch both of these simultaneously, my command prompt and my Wireshark. Ping that address that you found interesting and see, are we talking? And indeed, we are talking. So now we know that if I went to, let's say, attempt a telnet first, usually that's not going to be the case because telnet is very outdated, or test some kind of further handshake or communication between that computer. Now we know, okay, the gate is open, which port are we doing, and then we'll get into Nmap later down the road, but now each of you know that you can just test it out this way, okay? So that's kind of how computers are talking. You guys literally just seen two computers on the same network talk to each other, right? So that's what's important. Now, my computer here just talked over here to this computer, and voila, you know, I came in through this way, and I'm at, again, a bookstore, and now I know I can interact with somebody's computer. And considering it's open and free Wi-Fi with no security, you basically have unlimited access to what is going on here. Now, when we're looking at this, we could just simply track everything that 10.0.0.228 is doing. And that is why networking is very important. And this protocol here, by the way, is important. Internet Control Messaging Protocol, or Message Protocol, is the lifeline of how computers are talking. I know they always say, oh, TCP/IP. Okay, yeah, you got the TCP/IP already. You guys got the understanding that, oh, we know that from 151 to 228, we have, those are the IP addresses. So this is basic computer networking, and in the next tutorial, I'm going to get even deeper down so each of you completely understand what is going on here. Now you guys understand the very fundamental, the general overview of how networking is going, but we're going to dive deeper. We're going to get a very deep understanding. That way we know every aspect of how to hack a computer. So guys, this has been an InfoSec operator tutorial. I appreciate you guys watching. Give me a thumbs up and a subscribe for the next video, and I will see each of you there.